Welcome back. In your morning medical news, a new pediatric case of bird flu has health officials scratching their heads. The child is receiving treatment, and authorities say they're monitoring the situation. Officials recommend avoiding contact with sick poultry and staying updated on your vaccinations.
If it's a human, that means that there is human-to-human transmission going under the radar, and that is one of the signs of a virus that could be on the verge of becoming pandemic when you have human-to-human transmission. We worry about animal viruses that we have not developed immunity to before.
A teen in Canada is critically ill with the case of bird flu, and the source of that infection is also unknown. And it's hard to believe we are less than a week away from Thanksgiving now. It's coming just weeks after a divisive U.S. presidential election. Some may be feeling stressed out or worried or even downright sick to their stomachs about the idea of gathering with people who may have voted differently. Mandy Gaither has some tips from a psychiatrist on how to stop politics from ruining your holiday.
U.S. voters have spoken, and whether your candidate won or not, the holidays are happening.
If you know that there are differences amongst family members or you're worried about these tough conversations coming up, I think it's really important to be able to have a conversation in advance.
Psychiatrist Dr. Nicole Tarui with El Camino Health says after an emotional election, Americans need quality time with loved ones. So she says not to let politics stop you from getting together.
There's a deep brain structure called the amygdala that's responsible for fear and anxiety. When the amygdala is operating, we're often flooded with really intense emotions, and it's very hard to have productive and calm conversations.
That's why Tarui says to set expectations before the gathering, decide which topics are off limits, and focus on the holiday, not on politics.
If we can really set the intention that the holidays are really about that, it can make a very big difference.
Sometimes it can be hard to steer clear of big topics, so Tarui says not to avoid tough conversations. Instead, remember your shared values and consider listening. It may deepen your understanding of a loved one's beliefs. And if things get too contentious, it's okay to take a break.
I really recommend having just a one-liner to be able to diffuse these difficult conversations if it gets to a contentious point. An example of something you might be able to say is, I really respect your opinion on this matter, and we're going to have to agree to disagree.
If you need a break from tough conversation, the psychiatrist suggests deep breathing or going for a walk. She also says, remember, you're not always going to see eye to eye with loved ones, and you can't control their opinions. You can only control how you respond. Happening today, the Monroe County Health Department hosting a flu shot clinic. As cold and flu season continues, shots will be available from 8:30 till 5 at the Oak Street office. Regular vaccines are $30. High dose shots for 65 and up are $65, but your insurance may cover the cost.